Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your love and finance tarot guidance for the month of September 2017. I am certain that many will be happy to be making it to September. Now, as the month begins on the 5th, we will see Mars enter Virgo. And I have to mention that on the weekly that pertains to that week, I did accidentally say Leo, so I just want to let everybody know that it will be Virgo. Also on the same day, Mercury turns direct about 2 hours after that. Okay. Then on the 6th, we will have a full moon in Pisces, which I've spoken about many times. All right. And we'll see how that's playing out in here. On the 9th, Mercury enters the sign of Virgo. And also on the same day, Jupiter will leave shadow. And that is still in Libra through October the 10th. On the 19th, Venus enters Virgo, and Mercury will leave shadow. Whoo, hallelujah, right? On the 20th, we have a new moon in Virgo. Then on the 22nd, the Sun will enter Libra. On the 28th, Jupiter opposes Uranus, and Pluto will go direct. On the 29th, Mercury enters Libra. I also have to mention that at the time of the new moon, we'll be seeing our equinox time frame coming into play. And of course, it will actually occur at the time that the sun is entering Libra on the 22nd. So it's a very special week. You know how I feel about changing seasons, okay? Now, I have to tell you, when it comes to this particular reading, I was like, you know what? Everybody always wants me to talk about love and all this, and let's see what we can do. I have a deck that I use frequently when I'm doing personal relationship readings for people, and it's called the Chrysalis Tarot, and it just always, it's a beautiful deck, okay, but it gives off that, like where you can give the yes or no's and see what's happening with things. And I have to tell you, this seemed like the perfect deck to use because we're just about leaving eclipse season as the month begins. And this eclipse season was very much about relationships. Good ones, bad ones, new ones, old ones, you name it. It was all coming up because we also had Mercury retrograde. So all these things are happening. And, I want to say that the good ones get better. Things are improving. Now, this is not necessarily all about love. These could be relationships that even pertain to your finances. So, you're going to see the improvements by the time the sun is entering Libra, okay? The decisions you make this month or have been making are bringing you the success that you seek, and it's not just all monetary or emotional, but it feels like that feel good emotional success where you finally feel like things in your life are getting brighter and more positive. Now, I have mentioned many times that, at the full moon in September, which is in Pisces on September the 6th, there's a change there where eclipse season is ending and things are starting to smooth out. All right. And, that it's been kind of a bumpy ride, in the last 6 to 8 weeks, I'm sure. So getting to there is going to feel a whole lot better where you just feel it smooth out and things are improving. And, the destination is happiness, okay, and what it takes to get there. I think that truly September at some point is the beginning of the journey, all right? I think that August and the beginning of September see you overcoming those hard times where you really feel like, you've done things that you need to do and you're seeking that new identity. So that's a very good thing. I see it here. It's like this month you're really working out the details to make it happen. And it's not like anything that you've ever done before. This is interesting because for everyone it represents something different, but the universe definitely has a hand in it. Your hopes and dreams and your faith itself that you have in the universe has grown immensely once you see the positivity that is coming your way. Now, at the time of the equinox, okay, your vision, it's been kind of clouded. All right, but that's, because of all of the planetary goings on. That's changing. All right, you've kind of been sitting on the fence about a lot of things, trying to figure out, should I, shouldn't I, what's the right thing to do. And you kind of, it's almost like with some things you kind of just sat there. But you know what? One of the things that's happened is that along the way, you've really done your homework, okay? And that's important because that's what has been getting you through everything that moves you along. So you've made a lot of progress in recent weeks. And September comes and you're like, yes, let me get past the full moon, let me get past the equinox, and you'll find that you're filled with more positive emotion, that they're much more balanced. There could have been days with the eclipses and with everything else that was going on, that there were times that just felt rough, where even if you couldn't figure out why, you maybe couldn't hold back the tears. Whether they were good tears or, bad tears, it really doesn't matter. That's all. It's like a very calming effect that's coming in, but it also allows you the clarity to see what it is you need to do. So your wishes are coming in for you regarding your plans, okay? And, your plan all along has been to separate yourself from the hard times, the things that truly hurt you in the last 5 years. And that is what you're working on manifesting, and it's definitely going to happen. You are moving on and you're leaving that chapter of your life behind. And this new identity that you've been working toward, you've been creating it without fanfare. All right, but things are happening that are working in your favor. Like I said, it's allowing you to work out the details. You've survived quite a bit. And where you've felt held back, you're definitely feeling as though you are moving forward. So, change is in the air. While there has been much that has changed, especially last month, this month shows you being able to take that change and apply it to your journey as you continue on. Okay, and I think this is, we've spoken of this very, very big transition that's going on. You always hear me speak about generosity of spirit and how when you feel good, you tend to go around, maybe talking to total strangers and, offering to help people that you normally may not have even noticed. But on the other hand, there's something that's happening here. I feel like there's a big separation that's been going on, like trying to take place. And you are severing, things like where the doors need to close. You're doing it. So if it's a relationship, a person, whatever going on, because it's just too much to bear. Okay? And it's a good thing for you, like really, truly in the long run. And that relationship, because like I said, we're trying to approach this month's reading from the relationship standpoint. It could be with people, it could be with a place. I mean, it could be your home, it could be your job, it could be anything. But you're knowing at this time, like knowing where you need to go and what you need to do and what will make you more secure. It's like you're finally listening to that little voice inside of you that says, hey, this is it. This is what you need to do right now. Things that may have felt stalled, even though you were trying, and you might have made some progress, but you were like, why can't I just really get this going? I want to say around that time between the full moon and Jupiter leaving shadow is when you're just going to see the momentum really pick up. Okay, so maybe like the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere in there. All right, because you're finally like in charge of your destination. At least you feel that way. You're experiencing a sense of freedom that you haven't had before. Also feeling like maybe now you have some of the right people around you, because before you were just feeling trapped and not having the solutions. I think that they are truly appearing. The name of the game is manifest, manifest, manifest. You are taking the opportunity to manifest the abundance that you want. It's like complete and utter change. Finally, your rewards are coming in. And I think the result of what you're doing now, Like, you may not totally see it this month. You're seeing that it's possible and you're knowing what to do to make it happen. But I kind of think that time frame, I looked it up. I was thinking like Columbus Day, which is on October 16th in the US. And then that's also probably Thanksgiving in Canada that day. That's where you're like, okay, I definitely know how to create my future. Like, you're making it happen. You're already manifesting things, and they're going. So this month is what really sends you forward. You're able to assess everything that's happened over these last couple months. And once you're out of eclipse season and you're moving forward, you know how you feel about relationships, you know how you feel about other things that have happened in your life. And overall, you are feeling reborn and knowing what to do. I'm in awe. I must tell you, I am totally in awe. You know, that where we talk about how, see, you're getting rid of everything that has to do with the past, with the hard times, okay? So your goal has been that rock solid base. And I really think that this is where you start building. I mean, really start building, because, you know, you've assessed the status quo and you're ready to defend your position. Now, I think all of this is good. You know what you want, you know what you don't, and nobody's going to tell you anything different now, because after all this time, after all the things that you've been through, if we had this conversation 5 years ago, you would have been, no, Cecilia, you're wrong. This is, this is what I'm doing, but it isn't working right now. I need to figure out how to make it work. And the answer was no, that's not what's supposed to happen. You're moving into a whole new life, and that's what you're going to be doing, okay? So you've reached the point where you're actually so excited for this change that you're looking forward to it. And if you remember way back when, I don't even know when I first started saying it, I was talking about that long-held dream. For some reason, you couldn't do the old life and have the dream as well. And, it's like the universe pried that old life out of your hands and said, follow me. This is where you're going, all right? And it was never totally clear because it was all like smoke and mirrors, and you spent a lot of time being worried about things. But it is all going to wind up being fair in the end, like in a very balanced way, where you don't feel so, cheated by life anymore. So any remaining issues that you feel there are that you have to deal with, and you have to remember, you don't just get rid of them and then you never have another issue in your life. So, this month things are, easing up after the full moon, and then, you're making choices, but they're very balanced choices. So if I keep saying that things start to ease up at the full moon and you have more clarity, by the time you reach the equinox, that last issue that's there, and I feel like it's maybe down to one, and you have to separate your desires from your issues so you understand what I'm talking about here. And then, that's where you trust in the journey. And I want to say it's about a 6-week period where, you're working on that next part. It may come across as a little bit of a struggle looking for cooperation, but what you want is on its way. Maybe the new moon in October. Okay, let me see. Okay, and that will be a new moon at 26 degrees Libra on the 19th, which is very close to that 16th date that I mentioned. So you see how when you get to that part, I think you're almost home free. Like the things that you've been trying to figure out and do, I think that's where, here I am, like chopping my hands together. I think that's where that new identity is coming in, and it doesn't mean, like I said before, it's not like you're going into the witness protection program. You're rearranging your whole life to make it work for you, what you want and what you want to see happen. So I think that's a very good new moon that's taking you forward. And yeah, see, you're creating from there. Oh, wow. It's an amazing thing. Things that you never thought you could. Also, you have a lot of clarity coming in regarding relationships. So I like the fact that these readings have all progressed, with where we are and how it's going. I like this a lot. Okay. So you have finally conquered the last 5 years and the motion that it needs. Wow, it's very karmic motion, to take you to where you go. And there's your new beginning. If it doesn't happen at the tail end of October, it's coming at the very beginning of November. It's somewhere in that time frame, maybe somewhere else along the way. Something will show us exactly, where it's happened. So, it's all about bringing balance to your life. And I think that many of you have learned that art of going with the flow and maintaining a more balanced focus, okay? Not being so focused on, I want that, I want that, I want that. Remember, I'm always saying, look around, see what's going on. I think you can better assess your journey if you're aware of everything that's going on within your peripheral vision, okay? And that's very important to know. So, there's an important cycle that comes in here. Now, like I said, the big thing seems to be from the full moon, which is going to end eclipse season, all right? And then you get out of Mercury retrograde, and you see the sun move on into Libra, and you have the equinox, which is the autumn spring equinox, depending upon where you live, all right? And then in that time frame, that's where you're stepping into the new life, like where I think you become in charge of it. I don't think it's possible to become totally in charge of it before that time, because eclipses, Mercury, you name it, all the things that are happening. So, there's definitely a lot that's going on. And of course, we have, Jupiter opposing Uranus on the 28th, which is, the same day as Pluto going direct. So, there are things that are happening that are just, and I'm telling you, I can't wait until we do next month, because when we get there, you're going to see that you've gone through, it's a cycle, okay? It's a cycle that took a lot of patience and there was a lot of stress. But you're closing the door on the most stressful parts. And it will be done. And you're just going to be ready to charge forward. And I can't wait to see what it is that's going to happen. So I want to thank you all very much for being here. And I'll see you again real soon. Take care.